Breaking news. Russian President Vladimir Putin's rival and the Barbie debate. How up to date are you on the news of the past week? To find out, just sign up and play, it's free. Both the news stories we investigate and the quiz format itself are on shaky ground this week. Usually, most of the questions are multiple choice, but this time we included more, fill in the blank, questions to promote analytical thinking. But there's no need to worry, they're just guesswork away from being resolved. You must try everything in order to receive a final score. Your quiz results and their interpretations are listed below the quiz box. If you're feeling down about your general knowledge, GK, scroll down and watch the reel at the bottom to see how our newsroom did on the recent Olympics quiz. Emomali Rahmanov was elected chairman of the Supreme Soviet of Independent Tajikistan a little over 3 decades ago. The country was already on the brink of civil war when the 40-year-old former head of a collective farm was chosen as a compromise candidate. He was expected to be deposed in favor of a more charismatic figure. That was obviously an error. After 30 years and 6 months in power, Rahman is still in charge. He dropped the Russified OV from his name. According to a tally of prime ministers and presidents in emerging Europe and Central Asia compiled by BNE IntelliNews, he has now surpassed President Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus, who has been called Europe's last dictator, as the region's longest-serving leader. Lukashenko has been in power since 1994, but his failing health may finally force him out of office after he has violently resisted democratic protesters' attempts to remove him. After meeting Russian President Vladimir Putin, Lukashenko collapsed again on May 27 and was hospitalized in Moscow. There were reports of Lukashenko's death after he suddenly became ill at the Moscow Victory Parade on May 9. However, he later made a public appearance, though he appeared groggy and had trouble speaking. The last remaining political leaders whose reigns predated the end of communism have all left office in recent years, either due to death, electoral defeat, or resignation. Former Uzbek president and first secretary of the Communist Party of Uzbekistan Islam Karimov passed away in 2016. Steelworker turned politician Nursultan Nazarbayev was elected president of neighboring Kazakhstan by the Supreme Soviet in 1990 and remained in power after independence the following year. At the young age of 29, Milo Djukanovic became the country of Montenegro's prime minister in February 1991, months before Yugoslavia began to fall apart. He held the presidency or prime ministership of the tiny nation until 2023, when he was defeated in the presidential election by an outsider named Yakov Milatovic. However, this is not the end of legendary politicians living for decades. Since his ascension to power in 2000, Putin has presided over Russia for a combined 23 years, 19 as president and 4 as prime minister. He seems uninterested in leaving office and is widely predicted to win re-election as president in 2024, thereby extending his rule until 2030. Both Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey and Ilham Aliyev of Azerbaijan recently celebrated 20 years in office. When Aliyev succeeded his father as president in 2003, Erdogan became prime minister for the first time. After winning re-election as president in May 2023, Erdogan declared a new Turkish century on the Republic of Turkey's centennial. His new 5-year term would last until May 2028. Many had predicted that Erdogan's authoritarian rule and economic mismanagement would lead Turks to vote for his opponent, Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, the unified opposition candidate. After Karimov's death, Uzbekistan's Prime Minister Shavkat Mirziyoyev became the country's president. He had previously served as prime minister for 12 years. From 1998 to 2002 and again from 2010 until now, Viktor Orban has served as Prime Minister of Hungary for a total of 17 years. Orban and his party, Fidesz, have maintained electoral dominance in Hungary, with Fidesz winning multiple elections and holding a supermajority in parliament despite controversies such as clashes with EU institutions, concerns about the state of democracy, and controversial policies on immigration, LGBTQ rights, and other issues.